It's time once again for the high school football preview. Tom Markowski, I'm Lauren Plant. It's week 9 of the football season. Obviously some critical games, big matchups going on. Some for league titles, some just to get into the postseason. We're going to talk about a couple of them here. These are games that you will see on State Champs Sunday at 9 on Fox Sports Detroit. It's a full-hour show this week, so we're back to an hour. As many as 25 games you're going to see from all sports, but we're talking about football right here. Let's start on the west side of the state, St. Joseph at Portage Central.
Well, Portage Central looking to clinch their conference, the Southwest Michigan Conference out on the west side of the state. They just got past Stevensville Lakeshore earlier in the season. St. Joe's 7-1. They can tie for the title. It's always big games. St. Joe's a great area. Portage Central a couple years back gave Farmington Hills Harrison all they could handle. Gotta like Portage Central though. They really played strong this year. The defense has played well. St. Joe's not bad. It could be an upset, but I got to go with Central.
Yeah, and Portage Central being at home, I think will be favored in that one. Weather should not be an issue for this weekend.
Looks good.
What about Portage Central moving forward? Because as you said, they've made some hay in the playoffs before.
You know, it looks like they'll be Division II.
Yes.
Usually in their corner, they should be fine. But eventually, they, you know, depending how that it plays out, could be Mona Shores waiting for them or Lowell waiting for them later. I like those teams to advance. But in their region, Portage Central will probably make some hay.
Maybe Fenton will be in that this time.
You know, I've heard some strange things that Fenton might be with other teams in like a triangle there. So it depends.
Right.
Yeah,
we'll see how it plays out.
Right, and it depends on a lot of these 5-3 teams if they get in there.
Absolutely. Let's talk about a couple of games that, let's talk about another game that will be our main event on State Champs this Sunday. Of course, it's been the talk of the whole week around here, especially in Southeast Michigan. Maybe if you're in another part of the state, you haven't heard so much about it. But of course, originally King Cass Tech at Ford Field was canceled. It was going to be forfeited. King got into a fight with Detroit Cody last week. It was kind of an ugly incident at the end of the game, so both teams were not going to be playing for this week. They have rescinded that. The emergency manager for the city of Detroit said the game is on. They will play. Felt that maybe King kind of got railroaded a little bit into that fight. However you feel about that, the bottom line is we've got two of the best teams in the state going at it at Ford Field on Friday night.
I saw the first one, 31-28 in overtime. King win at King. Now they go down the street to Ford Field to play this one. I know Cass is chomping at the bit. Talking to Thomas Wilcher, when it was first announced they would not play the game, he was disappointed his players wouldn't be on the field to prove themselves. I like Cass in this game. And I took King in the first one. I like Cass getting some revenge here. And it's possible that distractions may hurt King coming into this game. And also there could be some ineligible players as a result from that fight. So we don't know that per se, but it looks like they're going to be missing some players on Friday.
So you like Cass in this one just with all the distractions and everything. And I think if you played this game probably 10 times, each team might win 5.
I agree.
So again, we think both of these teams have excellent chances. King in Division II, Cass in Division I, of going back to Ford Field. Of course, they will play each other. So we'll see who wins the PSL City Championship. Last one, this is on Extra Point. That's this Sunday on Channel 7 WXYZ here in Southeast Michigan. If you are in another part of the state, you can watch it on statechampsnetwork.com. You can watch it on our YouTube page. We'll have highlights of this one. It's Ortonville Brandon at Holly.
You know, these teams are not exactly your powerhouses in football.
No.
But Brandon did make the playoffs in 2011. They kind of changed their styles. If you're familiar with Brandon, the way they run their offense, they usually like to run the wing T. They kind of changed up a little bit now. They're running the spread and the wing T. And I asked their coach, Pizzala, I said, when do you know when you're going to run? He kind of laughed. He says it depends on what team they're playing, what the defensive alignments are. So I'm going to take a look at this game this week, get a look at these two Flint metro area teams. Holly, 0-9 last season. Big turnaround.
Started off rough, too.
Yeah, they had 2 one-point losses in week 2 and 3, kind of behind the gun. Ryan Colledy did a marvelous job. They've won, I believe, 3 straight now. Playing at home, it's a pink out game. Both teams are getting involved. Should be an exciting time in Holly. I don't even know who I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick Holly. They're playing at home. What the heck?
Why not? And You will be able to see that game on Channel 7. And again, this will be right after the Sports Cave. Tom and I are going to be on the Sports Cave once again this weekend. So we've got a crazy weekend. Again, the State Champ Show is going to be fantastic. Make sure you watch that. Tom and I are actually going to get in here and talk about the predictions on who's going to be where. So on Selection Sunday, we're going to know some of the matchups already, and we're going to talk about who we think are some of the players for the state title this year. See you then.